I'm back with another album review. Today's review is on Weezer by Weezer. This is the 15th studio album by Weezer. This is also the album that was intended to come after the Black Album. It was originally going to be released in May of 2020 in order to coincide with the tour involving Weezer touring with Fall Out Boy and Green Day. But then the pandemic started and caused the album and the tour to be postponed by over a year. I read that this album was dedicated to Rick Ocasek and Eddie Van Halen, which is partially why it's called Van Weezer. The album was recorded and produced by Susie Shin, and it was recorded at 4th Street Recording. Additional recording took place at United Recording, Red Star Recording, The Lair, and Capitol Studios. The engineers were Susie Shin, Charlie Brand, and Ivan Wayman. The assistant engineers were Andreas Kving-Sandnes and Seho Navahas. The navigator was Michael Beinhorn. The mixing was done by Matty Green, and the album was mastered by Joe Laporta at Sterling Sound. The album was released on May 7th, 2021 on Atlantic Records and Crush Music. What sets this apart from Weezer's previous material is that the album contains elements of arena rock, glam metal, and pop metal, not just hard rock. Now let's talk about the songs. The intro to this album is Hero, which was released as a single on May 6, 2020, just one whole year before the album. If you were to listen to this song, then you know what style Weezer were going for when making the album. It even features additional vocals from Susie Shin and Charlie Brand, and Susie provides additional guitar. Now, the song's music video was directed by Brendan Walter and Jasper Graham. I'm including a link in the description. The video contains a letter that was made as a tribute to the essential workers during the pandemic. The next track is All the Good Ones, which was released as a single on May 7th, 2021, the same day as the album for some reason. The song features additional vocals from Coast Modern, who provide additional programming, and Susie Shin, who was on the synthesizer. The song received a music video, and I'm including a link in the description. The animation was done by Jay Howell, and it's very good given the fact that he's worked on Bob's Burgers. After that is The End of the Game, which was released as a single on September 10th, 2019. Pre-production on the song was done by Michael Beinhorn, engineering was done by Wesley Seidman, and the drum technician was Mike Pisano. A music video was made, and there's a link in the description. Next up is I Need Some of That, which was released as a single on April 21st, 2021. The song has additional vocals from Rick Ocasek, Susie Shin, and Charlie Brand. Rick sadly passed away in 2019, and I don't know the exact date his vocals were recorded. Up next is The Beginning of the End, which was released as a single on August 14th, 2020. This track contains an interpolation of The Longest Time by Billy Joel, which I think is pretty interesting. That's followed up by Blue Dream. Apparently Ozzy Osbourne, Randy Rhoads, and Bob Daisley received writing credits on this song, which just makes it even more awesome. This is also my favorite song from this album. We followed it up with One More Hit. My dad sometimes plays this song on his radio show. The following track is Sheila Can Do It. Kevin Rydell helped Rivers Cuomo to write the lyrics. The second to last track is She Needs Me. Rivers was the only writer for this song. The outro for this album is Precious Metal Girl. Nick Long helped Rivers when writing the lyrics. While the majority of the songs on this album are focused on hard rock, it's kind of appropriate that this one ends the album on a softer note. One thing I need to mention is that the vinyl version of this album has 2 bonus tracks. I throw it out of the way, and I need some of that RL. As you can see, this version does not have those bonus tracks. When researching this album, I read that it peaked at number 11 on the Billboard 200, as well as number 1 on the US Top Rock Albums and Top Alternative Albums. As to the critics, they mostly gave it positive reviews since it has a 67 on Metacritic. It's just that DIY, Pace, and Shitfork thought it was mediocre. Did I mention that Shitfork is the Mr. Enter of music publications? And now for my thoughts. I think this is a great album. It's strange how OK Human was intended to be released after this, but OK Human felt like an appetizer with the release dates switched. Even though OK Human is among Weezer's best albums, I think this one is even better. When compared to Weezer's other albums, this one is by far the heaviest. I don't know if Weezer will ever make an album this heavy again, but only time will tell. Overall, I highly recommend this album. Now's the part where I question you. Have you listened to Van Weezer? If so, what do you think about it? What's your favorite song from it? What are your thoughts on Weezer making an album centered around hard rock, pop metal, glam metal, and arena rock? Do you think they'll ever make an album this heavy again? Let me know in the comments. If you like the video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to press the notification bell to notify of future videos. Thanks for watching, and fuck Shitfork.